So let's talk about this Jalen Brunson performance. Jalen Brunson went absolutely haywire on the Pacers the other day, scoring 11 points in the fourth quarter and dropping 41 in total. He was the most sought after player that game, and somehow a Pacers team which was leading by around 10 points in the game managed to lose against a team which looked kind of winded at most times and in the end really picked up steam for the win. I do want to say before we start that shout out to Dante DiVincenzo and shout out to Isaiah Hartenstein, because if it would have not been for them two, they would have not been able to win. I do believe those two guys were very important, as Isaiah Hartenstein got a lot of putbacks, got a lot of important buckets. And in the same way, Jalen, Dante DiVincenzo managed to get a lot of threes, and especially in the first quarter, he was the one who was really keeping them in the game. This game was highlighted by a lot of, passing, a lot of playmaking in terms of the Knicks, and they really stood out more for the fact that, in my opinion, they were playing some of the most, connected basketball they have in a while. I think even the commentator said, like, this is the most connected they looked all season. In the end, everyone in the Knicks did pretty well in terms of the starting lineup, except Josh Hart, which played terribly. And off the bench, Miles McBride did get some big buckets. But really, this game was Jalen Brunson's game. I want to say that the Indiana Pacers shot 45% from the field and 40% from three. Meanwhile, the New York Knicks, which won this game, shot 40% from the field, so 5% less, and 21% from three, which is around 19 less. So that basically means that in the end, the difference between these two teams was massive, right? And it's not like the Knicks shot like a ton more free throws. Yes, they shot 12 more, but let's not say that that was the reason why they won this game, because they shot so many free throws. The reason why they won this game is because they got 60 rebounds. And you heard that correct. In between Isaiah Hartenstein and Precious Achiuwa, they each got, they both in conjunction got 35 rebounds. And as a whole team, with Josh Hart, Jalen Brunson, which got 5 rebounds, Jericho Sims, which got 4, they got 36 defensive rebounds and 24 offensive rebounds. Jalen Brunson was just the person who put the seal on this game, and even he didn't shoot very well from three to begin with. He dropped 40 points, 5 rebounds, and 1 assist with 2 turnovers, 2 fouls. And in the end, it was really him who closed out the game after he scored like 6 different buckets straight that were just make. For the Indiana Pacers, Pascal Siakam played great, making some clutch shots to put them in the fourth. Tyrese Halliburton played well, but in my opinion, the thing is with the Pacers is that they weren't aggressive enough. The biggest thing with the Pacers was their scoring, but I do believe that you guys were shooting well, you guys had it going on, then keep doing it. Tyrese Halliburton looked very passive. He took 10 shots, he only had 5 assists, and he had 15 points. Pascal Siakam looked like the only player in the starting lineup that actually wanted to go out there and score a lot of points and really make the game competitive. As when it came down to the fourth quarter, even if he had 5 turnovers, he was basically doing everything for his team. Apart from that, Josh Smith, from the bench, had a great game, shooting really well and making 2 threes. And he honestly had some of the most effective 20 points to date. And I do want to say that Andrew Nembhard almost really sold in terms of his shooting this game. I will say that this game did look rougher for the Pacers. They had a lot of guys who stepped up, but it was a game where the Pacers did not like what they saw. So the Pacers with this made a mistake. And I feel like the biggest thing also with the Pacers that made them fail was their assist numbers. without Halliburton being the main assist guy, that takes away most of the fluency that your offense has, like, to start with, you know? A big thing for the people and for Halliburton and for his team is that fluency that they play with, which is honestly very nice and it's very refreshing to see. But they don't really have that when Halliburton has an off game. And this is where I think that they need more capital in terms of the um, players which are played regularly. I like Andrew Nemhart this game because even though he played badly, he did have 6 assists, and I do like that. He tried to play make just like Siakam did, where he had 5 assists. But guys like Buddy Hield, Brandon Shepard, and especially that guys like T.J. McConnell didn't play, it doesn't allow them to have playmakers, and this is a problem because if T.J. McConnell and Tyrese don't play, then they don't have anyone to facilitate that offense, and it just kind of, makes it much harder for the team to win. But I do want to say that before, obviously, I talk worse and try to change the script in favor of, the Knicks, I do want to say that they did play great. Jalen Brunson was crying, getting MVP chants. He was, they told him that he made his first All-Star team, which was amazing. And Jalen Brunson has really been the player to call when you need a clutch bucket if you're the Knicks. Randall is good, but since Randall's been out, they've been really making it so that the Knicks have to flow, in correct manner without him, because as you know, the Knicks play their stars a lot of minutes, and that always causes them to have some pains when the stars are injured. It causes them to have to make these extreme rotations from one moment to the other, and I do believe that these rotations are honestly paying off. This game they played really badly, and they had the disadvantage against a team in the East, in the Indiana Pacers, which is really good, right? But now they've won this game. They feel really confident. Their main star is, an all-star level player, and they've successfully managed to bring up and assess all of the problems which they had, right? Meanwhile, just using their own players which they possess. I feel like OG Anunoby is another guy which should get more appreciation, as he's been really leading the pack, and the guys who have, little to no experience, or he's been really there to make people and places and possessions feel more comfortable, as he really can shoot, drive to the rim, and do anything that the offense wants him to. With this being said, I do want to say that the Knicks look good, the Knicks look great, but are they contenders? And now this is really when we need to speak about where do the Knicks stand in terms of the East. I don't feel like they can beat most of the teams at the top. I don't think that they can beat Boston. I don't think that they could beat Milwaukee. Neither do I think that they could beat a team like the 76ers in a 7-game series. I don't believe that they can beat other teams like the Pacers in a 7-game series, because even if they look this good right now, what we're saying is, like, are these players going to fix their playoff issues which they've had, which are the role players going to step up? Because Jalen Brunson has already proven time and time again that he is a notorious clutch player, or at least he's a clutch enough to get your team through it, right? And this is great. But will the other stars be stepping up when that time comes to really make the final decisions and really have the business in the playoffs? I don't know. I have no idea, but I hope the Knicks can figure it all out because I do see them as a team that could actually make a run to maybe even as far as the Eastern Conference Championships if they're lucky and if they have a good schedule in the playoffs. So yeah,